What's up guys, Izina here once again, this time with a slightly different video. As you might be aware of, we are going through Gwent Masters edition number 4 during this weekend. Yesterday we got the players Danny Rai, Poisound, Caretaker and Spelling Bee up your rating for today for the semifinals and finals, so congratulations to all of you and wish you the best of luck. What we also got yesterday was an amazing card leak for 5 factions: Northern Realms, Nilfgaard, Scoia'tael, Monsters and Skellige. If by any chance you missed those same card leaks, don't you worry, I got you covered in this video. But before, please hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button because it would really help me and my channel. So let's not waste any more time and let's take a look at the brand new cards. Here we have Dana Mehapt, I hope I'm not murdering your name, Provider. So this is a relic for the Harmony archetype in Scoia'tael, which is an archetype that I really love, and says at the end of your turn, boost all Scoia'tael units in your hand with primary categories that you don't control by 1. When in hand or deck, evolve after you win a round. One thing curious about the evolving state of this card is that generally we are used to see cards that evolve into 3 stages, so in the first round they have 1, in the second round they have another, and the final stage of the card in round 3, but in this case we only have 2. So if you want to play this card in the first round, ideally you place it on board before you start to play any units. Generally you don't do this with the gold legendary cards, but in this case is what you want to do because it's really nice carryover throughout the rest of the round. So let's take a look at the second stage of the card, if you haven't played it in the first round. Of course it's going to evolve and this time it's gonna be called Caretaker. The artwork seems to be the same as the previous stage, and it says boost the lowest power light unit of each unique Scoia'tael primary category you control by 2. Whenever you play a Scoia'tael unit of a primary category you don't control, boost it by 2. So of course, if you don't play this card in the first round, it's going to evolve for the Caretaker stage, and it can work, for example, as a very good finisher when you have plenty of units of different primary categories on board in the game during the last round. But it's also a card that can struggle a little bit against control because you really need to keep those units on board. So I would say it's quite a balanced card, and let's see how our dearest Harmony will perform with it. So now let's jump into Skellige, and my god, I'm totally in love with this card, with this artwork. Tyr, Slayer of Ingvar, so the reference to the ancient god of the Norse mythology. I don't know, everything in terms of design, it's perfect here. In terms of card ability, so let's say that this card is powerful. Maybe a little bit too powerful, but let's wait for the new patch. We don't know yet how it's gonna be constructed as a whole, so we'll see. It says, Doomed, deploy, damage an enemy unit by the difference between its base and current power. Death Blow, gain resilience. When in hand or deck, evolve after you win a round. So the same, almost the same as the previous card that we saw of Dana from Scoia'tael. And this is a super powerful card because you can basically gain 9 points of resilience by damaging a unit by the difference between its base and current power. So ideally here you want to damage unit that is already damaged, so you can guarantee that the difference that it affects the opponent's unit gives the death blow. So you will have basically 9 points of resilience on board for the next round, so it's quite good carryover. Now let's take a look at the second stage of this card called Tyr, Master of Skellige. It has Doomed, and the deployability is move a bronze Skellige unit from your graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. Like, this is insane because it kind of works like the discard package. Imagine that you have a skirmisher in your hand and you discard it, and the skirmisher comes right back to the board, right? But The thing is, the game changer in this card is the first time a bronze unit leaves your graveyard each ally turn, boost it by its base power. So basically, you are going to discard a card, but you can bring another one back to the board and boost it. So imagine that you do this in conjunction with a skirmisher, for example, and you instantly have like a huge amount of value in a single turn. This card is like a very big deal and probably a huge game changer for the Warriors archetype. But even for other decks of Skellige, like for example a Skellige thinning type of deck, it can be a great target for Compass, for example. So yeah, this is mind-blowing. I wasn't expecting this. It was a really great surprise, so I'm curious to see what tier is going to bring us. Now let's take a look into Ard Feigned. So it's a Nilfgaard faction card, a legendary artifact with resilience. I don't want to go into much depth regards this card, and for those who know me, it has nothing to do with the fact that I don't sympathize that much with the Nilfgaard and other Dwan factions, so to say, but it's mostly because this is a card that clearly is related to the Aristocrats archetype. So let's take a look at the order. Look at the top 2 cards from your deck and choose one to move to the bottom. If it was an agent, give an enemy unit spying. If it was an aristocrat, give an enemy unit bleeding. Whenever you play an aristocrat, refresh the order. So this might be the key and the game changer. While in deck, when you play a gold aristocrat, summon self to your melee row. But again, the aristocrat archetype is probably the weakest at the moment in the Nilfgaard faction. This card would certainly play along with Masquerade Ball, but I'm not 100% sure. I have the feeling that we are going to see some buffs regards this archetype tomorrow when the patch notes will be released. So let's wait and see what the aristocrats will have for us. So now let's jump into Northern Realms Melitele. Another legendary card, which art I really enjoy it, because Melitele has a resemblance with the goddess Hecate, but those are other conversations. So it says deploy, boost an allied unit by 5. Whenever this unit is put back into your deck, trigger an ability of the cycle. Cycle 1, Maiden, boost all allied units by 0. Cycle 2, Mother, spawn a random 4 provision Northern Realm unit on a random allied row. Cycle 3, increase other values by 1. And at the beginning of each round, restart the cycle. So basically, this seems to me that is a card that wants to be placed on board as late as possible. The card works basically while being reshuffled constantly, kind of like traveling priestess in some that we saw a lot some seasons ago, but that in some sort of swarm decks can achieve very crazy values. So as per I understood, you need to be constantly reshuffling it in order to triggering those abilities, and the fact that these abilities kind of refresh each round, it seems also very powerful and very promising in, for example, a pincer maneuver deck and probably in some swarm archetypes. But once again, I bet that we are going to see some major changes tomorrow in the patch notes regards some archetypes in Northern Realms, but we'll see. So last but not least, we have Monsters. Again, a legendary card, a special card this time called Lilith's Omen. I love the name, honestly. The card says summon 2 monsters units without Veil from your deck to an allied row, then give them Doom and Rupture. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little bit confused regards this card. So far, in my opinion, the most mysterious one, because there might be something behind it yet that we are still not 100% aware. The Rupture status kinda gives the notion that it might be related to Death Wish, because the Rupture is the status that where the card, the status that you put in a card, and the card damage itself by its base power. although it also gives doom, so I'm not 100% sure what this might be. It indicates for now that might be Death Wish, but we will see what they will bring more for monsters. There might be something that we are still not aware of, so let's patiently wait. So yeah, these are pretty much the cards that got leaked so far. Later on today, during the semifinals and finals of Gwent Masters 4, we are going to see more leaks and what is coming for this new patch. So I'm looking forward to see them. Let me know down below in the comments what are your opinions and thoughts on the new cards so far. What are your theories? What do you think that is going to be buffed? What do you think is going to be nerfed? I'm really curious to know your opinions on this. From my side, that is all. So yeah, best of luck to the finalists today, and I'll see all of you very soon. Bye!